Well, that's one way to end a video. F you and your small business, because that's what the deep state thinks about us. Folks, it is amazing to be here today. We're going to do a little bit of different format today because Lisa is taken off. She's done a wonderful job helping us set up. Robert Imbrelli is under the weather, so let's prayers for Robert. He's going to be fine though. He looks like he's got a cold and dealing with a lot of stuff in his rain-drenched neck of the woods. But we love and miss Robert. So I'm going to fly solo today, a different format. I'm going to run things off of two different computers, and oh, geez, oh my lord, let's see how it goes. So first of all, I welcome you here, and thank you to being part of ScubaGov and SBG News and Views, and of course Renegade Media. We really appreciate you very, very much. While you're here, can you do us a favor? Like, share, and subscribe. If on Rumble, we're simulcasted all over the place. You may want to double check your subscription because SG Anon believes that maybe the AIs are knocking things down. And also remember to visit screwbiggov.com. Screwbiggov.com has everything that you need there. Over 20 videos and documentaries that we've created that we've posted there. They're our work. We're very proud of it. In addition to that, you can find freedominaction.net. Remember your oath. The movie Cages will be on there and played on there also. And great swag and so on and so forth, and it goes on and on and on. The reality is I'm shadow banned just virtually everywhere. It's hard to find our platform. So if you go to screwbiggov.com, you can actually see all the social media links. You just click it, and it goes right to the correct one, not one of the 132 that are duplicating our efforts and lying and pretending to be me. Why would you want to be me? It's not always too much fun. All right. In addition, we will post video clips we use and some that we don't show on the program on the Renegade Media channel. So go to Telegram, make sure you subscribe to the Renegade Media channel, and you can download and share from there. All right, let's get to it. Here's the first test to see if I got this system working. There we go. Remember this? Anybody hear about this, or have you been living under a rock? The Tucker Putin review. So the response, as we predicted, from the mainstream media, fake news, yada, yada, yada. It's just absolutely fake outrage, over the top. I mean, come on. So whatever you think about Tucker, he's now getting threats, right? He's be calling treasonous. It's been said that he should not be let back into our country. He should be brought up on charges. People are saying they should hang him for treason. Interesting enough, Barbara Walters didn't get hung for interviewing Vladimir Putin. Or is it Valdemar? I don't know. But she got praised for it. Amazing that you can capture that interview. Amazing. You did such a wonderful job. That's great in the face of the enemy. You did this. Oh, by the way, folks, several interviews have been done of leaders of corrupt nations. Come on. I mean, when Dennis Rodman went over to visit and get information from what's his face? The North Korea dude. You remember what his name is? Kim Jong-un. Anyways, from that small little diminutive person versus the tall Dennis Rodman, right? He didn't even get half as much heat as Tucker Carlson getting. So this is just absolutely ballistic. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, the deep state actors are being exposed as a rapid rate. And honestly, that's the good news. So, regardless if you think Putin is bad, good, he's a good dude, or this is Putin 2, 3, 4, or even 5.0, it really doesn't matter without the proper context of who and what Ukraine is. Let's rewind. Ukraine, before the war, was considered the most dangerous and corrupt country next to North Korea. Drugs and labs were known to be through the roof there. It was a deep state stranglehold, virtually a larger version of DC, run by who? The Khazarian Mafia. These are fake Jews that are actually Nazis. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. Plus, they encroached years ago on Russian territory, which is widely known, with the help of who? NATO. Now, wasn't Trump loved before hated? Didn't all the media and all the entertainers and all the politicians covet Trump? Oh, until he rode down the golden escalator with beautiful Melania. This is what the deep state does. It's disgusting, but we have to pay attention. So I have my thoughts on who Putin is and who he was before this interview. But yet, before you judge him as a bad guy, just know that the deep state in every country and the central banking cabal, the Rothschilds, hate him with every fiber of their cold-blooded existence. Now, I do wish Tucker would have breached the conversation on biolabs a little bit more. But all in all, I think he did a pretty good job. And he went hard on Putin at the end, but that was, I think, for an interesting reason in regards to the journalists being held captive in Russia. He really focused on that a lot. What I think it could have been is he didn't want it to appear that he was a lackey of Putin, so he came on really strong at the end, and I kind of understand his strategy there. All right, so let's get to just a little bit review, a couple bullet points here I think are important. So, Putin mentioned Ukraine's encroachment on Russia, which I think is important. This is how he set the stage. In addition, he actually said this, which I think is very interesting. He said they're run by Nazis, or virtually run by Nazis. Very important. These are all precursors of a message to come in the future, in my belief. And I think it's very, very important that we do this. In addition, he said the United States are the world's bullies. He didn't say the word bullies, but he indicated that by the way we operate. Now, I don't like he says the United States because he's really talking about the deep state, the globalists that work within the deep state who run the United States. So I believe the United States is getting a bad name, and we should focus more on the deep state. But I understand where he's coming from. And on the world stage, we are the bad guys for sure. Sad too. He did mention something I think is very important, and I think this is a great place to study. I'd recommend, if you haven't done it, everybody study the Bolshevik Revolution. Okay, so surprising, I was surprised that he mentioned it. Now, this should be a must study in contrast to the Holocaust. Very interesting. In addition, he talked about the mainstream media worldwide was run by who? Oh, we've been saying it for years. It's run by the CIA. Sad, but it appears to be true. The late Robert David Steele would tell you for sure they are. Is it the late Robert David Steele? That's a whole nother conversation. Putin, in addition, said that Germany is a puppet of the United States. In essence, they're run by proxy, which is very interesting. I just caught this. He called Xi Jinping his friend. That's his buddy. Which, if you think about this global alliance of the good guys, if that is true, Trump, Xi, and Putin work closely together, taking down the deep state. He did say prophecy is real, or indicated that prophecy is real, which I think is interesting if you relate that to Q and other things that are going on right now. Prophecy is very interesting. I love this. He said Rome is falling again, indicating that the deep state is falling apart. I actually was very happy he said that. I think it's very, very important to address that. This I put a question mark by on purpose. He briefly glossed over espionage. And why do I say that's important? He was the premier espionage expert before he became president of Russia. If anybody knows about espionage, Vladimir Putin does. Vlad 5.0, 2.0? I don't know. Interesting. All in all, this was a very interesting interview. It's getting multi-million views. It's breaking the internet. We simulcasted it, and the combined simulcast is already well over 100,000 views, and I'm sure it's going to continue to grow. Now, I do agree with our buddy Eric. Eric mentioned that this is pretty much an entry-level interview, and I believe what he means is to the disclosures to come. So this kind of gets our feet wet with what's going on, and then we have the disclosures. I believe people are going to say, oh, Putin was right. Oh, and look into this. Oh, maybe we should just look at Ukraine from a different angle. Maybe we should have an open take on this. I think it's very interesting. Now, since my buddy Robert couldn't be here today, I asked him if he could write what his view on Putin's interview is. So I copied and pasted in here. I haven't even read it yet, folks. I'm going to read it right now. So if he trashes me, I'm sorry. It just comes out of my mouth. So here we go. Putin interview, he says. Could this be the breaking of the dam of the deep state? Looking at how much negative press there is in the MSM about the Tucker interview, you have to know this hit home and hit hard. First, after watching the interview, do you have a different opinion of Putin than you did prior? Most say yes to this. The Russia narrative is now in danger of collapsing if it has not already. The fear we are seeing in MSM is an indicator that this narrative is on life support and about to flatline. So the U.S. is the leader in propaganda. Hands down, we do it better than anybody. If that does not wake you up, and it's shocking since we were brought up thinking the U.S. was the most honest, most transparent society in the world, we were taught that it was everybody else who was spreading the propaganda. Now, I'm going to interject you real quick. Isn't that what propaganda is? Is telling everybody else that propaganda is propaganda? It's very interesting. So Robert nailed it. It's kind of like getting hit across the face with a cold, wet towel. Well, in the heat of summer, I would like that, Robert. Now the comment that Putin does not care who is president since it does not matter, as it's always the same people in charge. We are seeing a side of Putin we have not yet seen. We have broke the dam. Robert's pretty cool, isn't he? That was awesome, Robert. Thank you very much. That was beautiful. Yeah, in addition to that, Putin was very relaxed, and I would not, most people would say calculated. I wouldn't, because he seemed to respond off the cuff. Now, he did have a bullet points and an agenda that he wanted to get through for sure, but I think it was very, very interesting. Now, while this Putin interview was going, you know what was happening? Moscow was burning. That's right. Moscow was on fire. This is a painting, guys. No, this is not a painting of the actual fires in Moscow, just so you know. But Moscow was on fire. There was some evidence that maybe there was a DEW weapon, direct energy weapon. Very interesting that Moscow and other parts of Russia and some plants and so on and so forth were burning while this was going on. Nice distraction. Oh, by the way, during the playing of this interview, I think he got 4 or 5 views total, though, so it's not such a big deal. All right. Having fun yet? Yes, we are having fun yet. Now, we talked in a lot about the Arizona Board of Supervisors shenanigans and shenanigans that are exposed. So, I didn't get the information quick enough. I asked somebody to put it together. She's a major fighter and she's been in the midst of it. She couldn't get me everything. So we're going to push this expose to next week on the Board of Supervisors and the Arizona GOP shenanigans. But it is groundbreaking information and very, very powerful. So you want to pay attention. But guess what did happen this week? There's a grooming bill, HB 2310, that passed by the Arizona House. That is great, great news. In addition, what was happening is they were getting liberal pushback on the bill, on a bill, and they got smart and they took out the words. Don't quote me exactly, but they took out the phrase about them that his notebooks are my property and that every president before me has done the exact same thing. I said emphatic. I meant to say, by the way. That is, kept handwritten classified materials after leaving office. Other classified documents found at the Penn Biden Center, Biden's Delaware home, and among Senate papers as the University of Delaware could plausibly have been brought to these locations by mistake, Herr concluded. Now, this article in the AP, you can go find it, now continues, and they say Trump's side. It doesn't matter if you're a Trump fan or not. This made me sick to my stomach when I read how now they're indicting Trump in their expose, unlike they gave a defense items to. There's no way I'm going to even waste my time reading that. Very interesting stuff, though. But this is going to be the golden boomerang. As we said many, many times, all this stuff comes right back and smacks the deep state in the head. So keep up your chins because we are absolutely winning. Next up, what? Neumi, which I name an incredible gift of health. So, folks, for you though that don't know, this is the beautiful new Neumi bottle. What is Neumi? Neumi is the one glutathione that they use hydrostack technology in order to make it small enough to permeate your mouth just by swishing it for 30 seconds. I think it's absolutely incredible. But you know why glutathione is so incredible? It's the master antioxidant. And the master antioxidant sends a signal to your mitochondria and your immune system saying, get to work, find the problem, fix it. That's the beauty about this. So God's gift, which is the way our bodies are constructive, can go to work because I know we're being poisoned with everything else. So Neumi is an incredible product. The testimonials we're getting are off the hook over and over and over and over again. Now, the purple bottle on there is called Herms. Pretty cool. It's a purely botanical, but they use the same hydrostat technology, so it assimilates in your body really, really quick. That's for women, and it's fantastic if women have premenopause, menstrual issues, cramps, hot flashes, so on and so forth. We've had testimonials that women with hot flashes take it, and in 2 minutes it's gone. Pretty amazing. And it helps with the libidos, and it makes the household nice, peaceful, loving place. I joke. That's why I call it, it's hers for him. And the spray is one of my favorite things out there. That's the Neumi spray. Spray that beautiful glutathione on your face, and guess what? Your skin will magically make you 122 years younger than you are right now, because you all know you're about 200 years old right now. All right, enough with that. But by the way, look in the bottom corner right there. Because Robert's not here today, let's give him some love, everybody. Go to renegade.neumi.com. Renegade.neumi.com. Yes, go right there and purchase your Neumi today. Robert's a great, great, great guy. He'll get a small commission on that. Makes you happy and healthy, and it's good for Robert, and it'll cheer him up today when he sees those orders pulling in. So go to renegade.neumi.com and order your amazing Neumi today. All right, next up. What do we have next up? I don't even know. Oh, that's right. Remember this guy, Seth Ridge? I'm sure they said he was robbed. You know, crazy talk. Well, the Gateway Pundit has uncovered some information. I think it's very good. So in in honor of the Gateway Pundit, I'm going to read a lot of this, and then I'll summarize myself. So they say the FBI refuses to turn over Seth Rich's laptop, is still hiding its contents from the American people despite a court order. After years of denying they had anything related to Seth Rich, the FBI and DOJ were caught lying over and over again. In September 2023, a judge finally demanded the FBI and DOJ provide all they had regarding Seth Rich to the attorney Clevenger. The FBI responded requesting another 66 years. Get the number, guys. 66. Maybe it's a movie. Don't know. That's very interesting. So the FBI responded requesting another 66 years before releasing the information. They wanted it moved out like the JFK to Ty Clevenger. No media outlet has covered the Seth Rich story as extensively as the Gateway Pundit, as they say so themselves. After weeks of waiting for the FBI to release Seth Rich's laptop to attorney Ty Clevenger, we now have a new update from Ty. Isn't it interesting, folks? Those three-letter agencies just keep popping up. The FBI is completely, this is according to Ty Clevenger, by the way, the FBI is completely dug in. Chris Wray's FBI continues to defy the court and will not release the laptop computer. And now, according to attorney Ty Clevenger, the FBI is making up a new story and a new excuse on why they cannot release the laptop. The FBI is clearly hiding something. I would agree. Could it be that the Seth Rich computer confirms that he leaked the Hillary Clinton emails to WikiLeaks, as its founder Julian Assange implied? Interesting. Another way to clear Julian Assange, but they don't want to do that either. Looks like there's multiple facets to this story. Could it be that the FBI blamed Russia for leaking the emails when they knew that was not the truth? Another facet. There was no computer hack. The emails were leaked. That's unequivocal. If it's so powerful in evidence and nobody can have it, ask yourself why they did that. So that was my little commentary at the end. Thank you for Gateway Pundit for this. Now, what everybody's been waiting for, dun dun dun. I have to have some water before we get there. All right. Robert's telling me I have a little static on my mic. How's that sound, Robert? Better? Coo, coo, coo. All righty. This is what we all been waiting for. I have to add the sound effects since I'm kind of solo today. All right. What the heck? That's not what was supposed to be there. Did we lose the whole thing? Wow. Stand by, folks. I apologize, but stand by just a second. I have to find this for some reason. Now, just so you know, right before we went on air, the reason why we were 3 minutes late is because guess what? My computer crashed. And I wonder if it did not save everything. Oh, it reorganized everything. All right. Well, on the fly, I'm going to fix this. Look at this. Technical marvel that I am. Let's get right to the story. All right. Well, that's the lovely Taylor when she was a young girl, and here's her as a woman. So, very interesting enough. Taylor Swift actually started off very innocent, and she built a following of young ladies, and she actually showed them good values and so on and so forth. So she was actually an icon to look up to. And then, of course, she transitioned into this, what I call a spellcaster, what we're going to find out. So she went through this transition. She started innocent, right? And then, bam, suddenly she's positioned as a serial monogamist, I'll call it. So as all of these boyfriends, of course, all over and over and over and over again. She makes them public, makes a song, makes it public, makes a song, makes it public. Poor Taylor. and then transitioned, I believe, into satanic and spell casting. I don't know. We're going to find out that's true in a moment. But I do think it's very interesting. And I'd love for audience participation to come on this part. Have you not noticed in Hollywood and entertainment business in general this exact transition where they suck you in with this amazing, innocent female, Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. I mean, the list can go on. Britney Spears. They go through all this thing, and then what do they do? Is either in Taylor's case, she has all these serial monogamous relationships. So what do? They position her as crazy, whack job, shaves her head, right? Because she wasn't going to play the game anymore. I'm just saying. That's plausible. We should really pay attention to this stuff. So, anybody in here, can you name somebody real quick that's gone through a similar transition that I haven't mentioned while I drink my water? We have about a 15-second delay, so I will wait. Okay, it says Azalea Star is one of them. I'm not as familiar with that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, somebody's mentioned the Kardashians' husband, but actually, the Kardashians used to have an innocent look right at the beginning. By the way, also, people fail to mention that. All righty. Okay. Anyways, let's move on from that. Now, the Olsen twins. That's a good one. We did mention Miley Cyrus. Sam Smith, not a female, but I guess Jessica Simpson, Christina Aguilar. Yeah, these are good. So I have to be fully upfront. I've never been a fan of Taylor Swift. One thing I've always been against is autotune. Autotune really was become popular by Cher, if anybody remembers autotune, and then virtually all male and singers now, female, use this autotune. I'm not a fan of autotune, and plus she's a talker in music, and I'm not really a fan of a talker in music also. So never been a fan of Taylor Swifty, but that's just full disclosure. There's a lot of people that you're mentioning, and I appreciate it, guys. But I would like to mention one person that was mentioned, Lindsay Lohan. Again, it appears that they did the same thing with Lindsay Lohan, and then she rejected the establishment. She came out publicly against the control and other things she said was going on. And what happened? Now she's crazy. She's an alcoholic. She's a drug user, and she's blackballed. This has happened time and time again. This is how they handle these people. If you say it, you either do that or you become part of the.
What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments.
Pretty interesting, right? Is there more evidence? I don't know. Well, clearly, by the way, I don't think there's a problem with the number 13. I think it's a great number. But what we have to remember is the way these psychos think. Like 666 can be angel numbers, be whatever you want to make it. The satanic cabal, the Luciferians, they love using these numbers. So, all those coincidences, 13, sure, just a coincidence. I know. Let's see what else we got here. Well, these were supposed to roll one at a time, but it looks like when my computer crashed, my I lost a lot of stuff. So let me see if I can bring these up really quick for you. Apologize for this, but hey, sometimes you just have to make do. I'm gonna Yes, and Charlie Freak will be coming next. I'm going to talk about him in a second. So let me bring this up. This is very important. So I'm going to undo this. I'm going to play a video that Robert sent me. So give me a second. Apologize for this, folks, but I did have a computer crash right before, and I guess a lot of this stuff was not saved. So give me a moment. I'm going to fix this on the fly. Just if you guys in chat can start singing to each other, that would be great. All right, here we go. Dun dun dun. I used to be pretty good PowerPoint, so let's see how fast I can do this. I hope you're rooting for me. I can't read the chat right now. So boom. Start on click. Got it. All right. I think I got it. And then I'm going to have to, first, I think what I'll do is I'm going to show this video that Robert, I asked him to cut it for me, and he did, of course, because he's a great guy. I want to show you this right here. So this is going to take me a second to cue. Oh, you know what I could do? No, no, no. I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to import it to a new page. Stand by, guys. I'm doing this on the fly, but this is going to be pretty cool. Apologize for this unprofessionalism, but hey, I could have just bailed on it. We don't do that here. We are fighters. So I got to keep talking. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Find that and drag it in here. I could show you this live, actually. That probably would have been more fun. Okay, where's that video? There it is. Awesome. I'm going to crop this just a little bit. Perfect. All right. All right, now we're going to play this video. Thank you for Robert for sending it to me. I just cropped it. And slideshow. Beautiful, it's working. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's share screen again. Should have a black screen there, which is fine. Check this out. This is Taylor Swift's concert called Era that was recently, or I think she's in the middle of it right now.
What's up, Faith fam? Let's take a look at the evil darkness going on during Taylor Swift's recent performance. This is disturbing, especially when she is a self-proclaiming Christian.
We are the signal, and you
Look at her outfit. Looks like a witch in her coven to me. I don't know. What do you think? It's pretty scandalous, I think. Some of her fans are actually dropping her because of this. You can't be subjecting your little daughters to this crap. And I'm done with the, oh, it's art. Art doesn't give you an excuse to behave like this. This is spell casting. It's very, very clear. You think I'm still off my rocker? I don't know. What's that? Well, that's Taylor Swifty, right? And this is someone who just happens to be the granddaughter, I believe, of Anton LaVey. They do look very similar, don't they? Well, let's see. What? So why would Taylor pose virtually the same with the same type of eyebrows, lipstick, and very similar hair as this lady who she never knew, right? I'm just curious. Oh, wait. Back to the same look again? Isn't that interesting? Who's that? Wow, they could be twin sisters. Now, after all that, because we had fun with that, I want to bring you Charlie Freak in just a moment. But I want to review this really quick. So she started innocent, right? We showed you the rituals. Still not convinced. We showed you the Anton LaVey, Church of Satan, the fact that she seems to be mimicking the granddaughter of, I don't know, did she get reincarnated? Is it a clone? Or is she just obsessed with this person? Very weird. Now, are all of these still coincidence? Even if you're a Taylor Swift fan, and you get down to the end, is her mimicking Zena LaVey? Is that just an accident? Look at all the coincidence. I don't think so. If you're not convinced, I get it. Well, now her new boyfriend, let me just add a little fuel to the fire, just happens to play in the Super Bowl on Sunday. He just happened to get paid to decide. But remember, there are no such thing as coincidence. Well, I just described all the coincidences in regards to this satanic behavior. It's clear. Maybe Charlie thinks she's doing this as a game or part of the movie. I don't know. So the first image below is of Taylor at the Grammys wearing an authentic Concorde watch. So you can see it. You'll see a picture of a Concorde watch. And it's turned into a diamond choker that she was wearing with the time set to midnight. Charlie references it to this. He says, you know, Paul Revere and his Midnight Ride that sparked the revolution. So I love the way he's digging into this, actually. It's very interesting the way he's tying things together. I'm not probably on the same page with him, but out of respect, I wanted to show an alternative to what I was saying. I think it's only fair. If you know your American history, Charlie says, then you know that the battles of Lexington eventually led to the Republic of the United States of America being formed in 1776, one nation under God, although I think it was the United States that was formed, Charlie, not of America. One nation under God. Think of Taylor's act as the shot heard around the world that set in motion a Revolutionary War and a new nation under God. Again, remember your history. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, the Battle of Concord, yada, yada, yada. So he goes into this. It's the founding of the new sovereign nation, free from the yoke of man, under the yoke of Jesus Christ, as under nation under God. Very interesting. Then he says, and just so you know, Taylor Swift announced at the Grammys the release date of her upcoming album, The Tortured Poets Department, 345 in Simple Gematria. Now, most people that know me know I've had some issue with a lot of the interpretations of gematria because you can go on a website and virtually find anything that matches. I do think if there's relevance there, it is probably going through the simple gematria and relevance and connected to numerology. In my digging, I actually did a video on this. That's my opinion. So no dismay to anybody else that believes otherwise. As of April 19th, just so you know, the Battle of Concord took place on April 19th, 1775. In the village of Concord, Massachusetts, just west of Boston. It was one of the opening battles of the American Revolution. And although the British completed their objectives at Concord, the Massachusetts militia forces forced the British back into the city of Boston, which led to the Great Siege of Boston, which trapped the British forces there and swung the war to the American patriots. So what he's saying is, in essence, we're duplicating history, and she's the messenger like Paul Revere is. So he says, God bless America. Now look at the second image, he says, which is Q post 992. Read the words carefully and note how Q added Lexington and then bordered in red Concord. And this is his reference to what she's wearing on her neck. Boom. And you all thought I was crazy praising Taylor Swift as a crucial white hat. I know that he's gotten heat over praising Tom Hanks as a white hat also. Now, here's where I would be in agreement with Charlie. I absolutely believe there's some people that are playing the part of evil that are actually good, and that will be exposed in the future because they have to play these roles in order for the narrative to permeate the public. So I do believe this. I'm not sure about the Taylor Swift. I have to take it on face value. On face value, to me, she looks like a satanic, lunatic spellcaster to me. But I'm not as a deep thinker as Charlie Freak is. So he says, and at the Grammys, besides her Concord watch diamond choker necklace with the clock set to midnight, she wore a beautiful full-length white dress with her red hair flowing. Sorry if you're still struggling with any of this. I don't think I can help you at this point. Either you are a patriot with eyes wide open or you're part of the problem. Well, Charlie, that I disagree with. I'm a patriot with eyes wide open. I just may have a difference of opinion. I don't think you need to dishonor your viewers like that by calling them names. But that's just my opinion. Not everybody sees what you see, but I think we all want the same thing. We definitely want to come into a better world. He put her new album is entitled The Tortured Poets Department. I mean, seriously, open your mind a little here, okay? The simple gematria for this title of 345. What else is 345? Drum roll, please. Now, in Charlie's defense, it sounds like he got beat up over this a lot. So he's backlashing. So I can understand why he's upset about that. I get beat up over some stuff. It's crazy. Now, I do want to mention, I did reach out to Colleen on her Facebook and asked if Charlie can come on and describe what he's talking about. I got no response. So let's just be clear about that. He says, I ain't being mocked by you all anymore. It is going to get very real soon. Do you have your popcorn ready? Decode all things are possible with God, the blood moons, and the bride of Christ. Thank you very much. I am sending out an SOS to all mankind, the 6,000 years time frame. I love True Social. It is my home. A simple kind of life is a wonderful life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, I am of love, light. I harbor no darkness. And he goes on about, I'm not going to, I think he does himself a disservice by saying Jesus Christ and MFing dots in the same sentence. I'm not going to continue to read this, but I get where he's coming from. And I honestly hope he's right. I hope they're all good people. And this is just exposing the truth. At the moment, I'm just not feeling it, but I do appreciate his hard work on that. So I wanted to let you know. And he did sign it at the end. Your humble servant, Silence Do Good, a.k.a. Charlie Freak. So that's about it of Taylor Swift, D. I could have gone in a lot deeper, but I didn't want to dig too much into this. I don't know if I should call her a whack job, but something's off to me. Something's off to me. So let's continue. Oh, look what we got going here. Sunday, our annual Screw Big Gov Super Bowl show is actually being moved from Telegram to live on Rumble. And what we're going to do is we are going to cover the Super Bowl. We're going to have a bunch of guests jump in if they'd like to come in and talk real quick. We will cut if there's a highlight to show you football fans a highlight, even though you never know if it's a fake touchdown or a real touchdown. Is it planned? Did somebody let them go by? Because there is a rigging into NFL. Now, I'm not full on board with everything's rigged. I am fully on board with there's some players that are actually paid off to do things in a certain direction. Many officials are paid off. And there's certain things how they can affect the game so it doesn't appear rigged. That I do believe. I used to play football. Love football. These guys are still, many of them are still working hard, running hard, getting hit, and making good moves. So it's not completely all fake. But there is, and has been in the Super Bowl, a satanic element to it for sure. So we need to talk about the way it is. We'll cover all this on the show. But we're also going to have some fun. We're going to mock the Super Bowl. We'll probably mock the celebrities involved. I know, how mean. I definitely are going to mock, I'm going to mock Travis Kelsey, whatever the heck his name is. Yes, I know his name. And so forth. But what we'll do is we'll also show the halftime show in its entirety, which will be fun. And let's see if it's positive or negative. I will say, though, I investigated the I believe it's 5 people playing, entertaining in the halftime show. And I went back about 6 years, or I think back to 2016, 17, I think it was. Where did I go back to? Yeah, about 17, I think it was. And I couldn't find any negative comments about President Trump from any of them. There was a little bit before from one, but that's it. I find that interesting because to find 2 celebrities at any one given time that doesn't have a negative comment about President Trump is very, very interesting. So that we're going to go over that. We'll have fun with it. You guys should be there. It'll be absolute blast. I will be eating guacamole and chips if my wife allows me. Oh, God. Yes, I'm a fatty. All right. So, next up, speaking of the Super Bowl, is Bud Light going to make a huge comeback? There's lovely Dylan Mulvaney or whatever the heck its name is. And there is Kid Rock busting up the Bud Light cans. But guess what? President Trump recently indicated. Oh, sorry. I lost my screen here. Where did it go? Apologize for that. There we go. Thank you very much. So, President Trump recently indicated that Bud Light should have a second chance. Guess what? The owner of the UFC, Dana White, agrees. In fact, he got paid, I think, probably $1 billion. But anyways, he got paid millions and millions of dollars to start sponsoring Bud Light again. How about Kid Rock? Kid Rock is now being featured in the Bud Light Apology Tour. Are they going to make a comeback? Is there going to be a reprieve? Did President Trump have a talk with them? I don't know. But Trump does have a history with the Bushes. And I'm not talking about the baddie Bushes. I'm talking about the Anheuser-Bushes. So, and Anheuser-Busch has a history prior to this of not being influenced by political correctness. In fact, decades ago, they were against this political correct nonsense. Now, they did change some ownership and some shares, and we all know how the stockholders do. So, does Bud Light get a second chance if they can prove that they just caved to the wokeness pressure? We'll see. They didn't cave to the pressure back in the day of streamlining their facility to produce beer quicker, and therefore it doesn't taste as good. They were one of the only ones that said they'll take the financial hit to put out a good product. Whether you think it's a good product or not, that's up to you. I don't drink beer. But the point is, do they get a second chance? I'm not going to say it. I would have to say, you decide. All righty. So, I think that about does it. Oh, you know what? It doesn't about do it. I'm so sorry. Here. Again, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. My computer crashed right before we went live. All right. Let me finish with this, folks. Number one, appreciate you, everybody throughout the years. You've been so supportive here. We appreciate all our administrators, Lisa Roberts, Robert Imbrelli, Bruce Poppy, people that are directly connected to the show, people that were with the Truth Tour, Remember Your Oath, Christine Geiger, our old managers of the Truth Tour, freedominaction.net, our old web designers. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I'm not looking to forget any of you. I just want to know we are sincerely appreciative and thankful for everything you've done. And there's some big things coming. Big things coming. I believe you're going to see here how there's going to be some good truthers that are going to be uniting together, putting apart some differences and moving forward to help we the people make a difference. And I hope to be a catalyst for that type of change. So that's the goal here. With love and respect to everybody, just know we got this. We really do. Take a deep breath, move forward. I know things are tough out there, but let's try to find the goodness, or as my friend Carol says, find the diamonds in the dog shit. I do think it's important. All right. So that about does it for today. I hope to see you Sunday right here on this live on this Bat channel. I believe it's going to be the same time or close to the same time as it is when the show normally starts. So just check it out. You'll see it on Telegram, and we'll post it here and some promos for it. But we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll enjoy our guacamole. We will expose these baddies in Hollywood and entertainment and sports, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Appreciate all your time. Good night.